My name is Army Staff Sergeant Retired Brian Pearce. In October of 2006, I was injured by shrapnel when an IED hit my vehicle in Iraq. This resulted in blindness, bilateral hearing loss, tinnitus, a severe TBI, and PTSD. I initially had went to work as a deputy sheriff. After a few years, I got laid off. I walked into the recruiter's office and he probably thought I was crazy and said, "Okay, I want to join the Army and I want to leave today." He had to kindly remind me that it didn't quite work that way. But in a couple months, I was gone. I was in basic training. While serving, I really liked the camaraderie, and that's what I miss. The day of my injury was October 20th of 2006. The entire time that we had been in Iraq, before every mission, there was a mission brief. And it drove me crazy because I couldn't remember the mission brief for that day. But yet I could remember driving up the road and I could remember the explosion going off. We had hit an IED just south of our target point to where we were going to. I remember how it felt, remember how it smelled, remember how it tasted. I have dreams or nightmares or something every night where I remember that explosion. And I had one piece of shrapnel that had traveled up through and right up the back of my body and penetrated the skull on the back left side. They had initially called me in as a KIA, and once they got me back, they got me on a stretcher and evacuated me to Balad. The first thing I remember after the injury is waking up, hearing my wife have a very one-way conversation with who I later found out was a doctor, but that conversation would have made any Marine Corps drill sergeant very proud. And I was thinking, what the hell is she doing in Iraq? My wife's name is Angie. We've been married for 27 years. Our daughter Jordan is 25 and our son Logan is 24. We live in Mechanicsville, Virginia now. The house we live in, it's a colonial style home. And as I've aged, having a second floor has been really challenging. I've tried a chairlift, that didn't work. We tried taking the carpet off the steps, and that really didn't work. The only time I go up and down the stairs is when Angie is home. Our master bath is upstairs. So in order for her to be gone, I've either got to shower and get cleaned up before she leaves, or I wait until she comes back. We found out about Homes for Our Troops through a former coworker of my wife, Angie. I was daydreaming about, wow, that would be so nice. I was like, things like this they don't happen for me. And then we found out that we got accepted. Every time Angie gets an update, I'm like, wow, this is really happening. It allows guys and gals to actually function in a home and do the things that they miss doing on their own. The biggest feature I'm looking forward to is everything's going to be on one floor and there's going to be a bathtub. I love soaking in the bathtub. I can't think of any one feature about it that I don't love, and I can't wait to lay eyes on it and say, wow, it'll give us a permanent sense of normalcy. It will allow me, if I want to go outside while Angie is sitting inside watching a Hallmark movie, I can go outside and she don't have to worry about it. I know that sounds corny, but I want her to be able to get back to as much normalcy as what she can, because I feel like she spent the last 17 years worrying more about me and what I'm doing and taking care of herself. Homes for Our Troops is the epitome of taking care of your own. Without Homes for Our Troops, there would be a lot of veterans struggling. It helps me to see that there's so many donors and supporters. It really makes me have hope for the country. I cannot believe that this is coming true.